Okay. First of all, I'm thankful that I'm able to come back to Malaysia, to KL. It's such a privilege to be back and sing again for new people and for people who came last year. And I was very thrilled and happy to read the long email that Alisa forwarded me from our current organizer of this concert. Where's her? She's there. So through her email, I had more faith in what I'm doing, because this is also important. Once you are delivering your days and nights for one goal, then you always have to search reasons for why you're doing this. So even benefiting from one person, to one person, is a lot of encouragement for me. So it's worth it that I come all the way here. Today we will be talking about the healing system of Tibetan medicine. As our MC introduced the meaning of mantra, but actually mantra is a Sanskrit word, not Tibetan word. In the Tibetan word is called angak, but the meaning is the same, the protection of our mind. So protection from suffering, protection from stupidity, yeah. So, which is very important, because to really understand, to realize yourself being stupid at times can be very difficult, but can be so important. Okay, so first of all, Tibetan medicine, traditional Tibetan medicine, we call it TTM in English. So TTM can be dated back to theoretically, some scholars believe that it can be dated back 3,000 years old. But some scholars believe that it can be even dated back to the Stone Age, more than 8,000 years old. Because part of the healing system, especially the spiritual healing part of TTM, has already been existed in the Stone Age, since the Stone Age. So, of course, there is fights, but we can know both of the statements. So that's like a brief introduction on the existence of traditional Tibetan medicine. And when we talk about traditional Tibetan medicine, then there are basically two parts, which is very similar to all kinds of alternative medical system. One is prevention, and the other is curation. As if you have studied any kind of alternative medication, then you know that all the alternative medication is more emphasizing on the prevention rather than the curation. And the curation is the main work of Western medicine, the modern medicine, right? So everything, when it's already too late for prevention, then you either cut out or you take medicine to melt it away, right? So either melting or cutting. And then you wait. If you don't work out again with your being and the way who you are, then of course the root of the problem is not solved, then they come back all the time. Especially, I think women can suffer a lot from tumors nowadays in the wombs and in the breasts. And when people suffer from these cysts and tumors, and then when they don't change the lifestyle, diet, then the problem comes back again. Some women can even come regularly, like every 2 years, every 5 years, and even in the same months. So can you imagine how strong the body is? You know, it remembers the root and when is it being cut, and then when it can grow back. It's like the fruit, you know, but fruit of the stupidity. So in traditional Tibetan medicine, we have 5 methods of healing. In the Bible of TTM is called the 4 Tantras. There are 4 books, and these 4 books are talking about 5 healing methods. The first one is called diet, so which is super mundane or super common for our life, right? And but super careless. Super little time that we spend on how we eat and what we eat. We just eat, basically, without any considerations and thinking, right? And thoughtful moments. So we eat, and then when our stomachs are full, then we get the burping, farting, and yeah. Yeah, nowadays, I think 80% of the people, 80, up to 80% of the people are suffering from different kind of stomach disorders. One part because of the quality of the food, other part because of the pollution that we give to the earth, so that it results such result for the food that comes back to us, right? So it's a very sad circulation. And second is talking about lifestyle. And then lifestyle can be differed from place where we live, and our characters, and our jobs, and our family members. So many factors decide what kind of lifestyle we should take. But initially, everything starts with your typology. So this means who you are, what your body originally likes and does not like. So you have a certain, your body has a certain type. And then following that certain type, you can follow what is being offered in TTM. So there are many different information according to your body type. So for this part I will talk later, because it's a separate system. So if I talk now, then it can be confusing. And then third is called medication. So as you know, maybe you don't know, 70% of Tibetan medicine are herbs. Everything is herbs. And the flower, stem, and the root of the herbs. 30% are stones, mineral stones. Mineral stones, including pearls, coral, and different calcite and different mineral stones in the nature. And so this is the division of the material, medical. But if we talk about the side effect of the medication when we take, then almost 80% of the medication, Tibetan medication, doesn't have side effects. The worst side effect can be nausea for short term and numbness in the upper part of the body. So this is like a general worst case of the side effects. And then, of course, everything, if you take too much, then it becomes poison, right? So if sometimes nowadays in Tibet, like in the ancient time, in the old time, many people don't have money. That's why many doctors, when they are trying to help people, they use more herbs because they're cheaper. But the function is as well as the precious pills. The precious pills means medication with precious stones inside. When you like put precious stones, then they're more expensive. So usually these are like a medicine for rich people. So that's also why there is a division of this medical material medical. Like this is also one of the reasons in the back time why it became like this. And then nowadays people have more money, so they believe, now I can have more precious pills. So some people really, they believe that precious pills can be so much better than herbal pills. So they take too much, and then it becomes poison. Then they get 中毒, they get poison from the precious stones, too much precious stones. So this can be another kind of side effect of Tibetan medicine. But if you take like the right dosage, it's always beneficial for the problem. Even if it doesn't work for the problem, it doesn't hurt any other organs in your body. It only comes out with pee pee, poo poo, sweat. Which is good, you know. But if you don't do exercises, and if you don't sweat, if you don't drink enough water, of course, no pee pee, poo poo, sweat, then they're still in your body. So everything, when you want to let out, then always drink more water and pee pee, poo poo, and sweat. These are very good natural solutions. And then fourth healing method is called external therapies. So external therapies can be divided into 3 types. So one is called, in Tibetan, it's called Jam She. Jam means soft. So it's like a soft external therapy. So for example, Tibetan style of massage, it's called Ku Nye. Ku means to apply. So what they apply different oil and substances according to the body type. So if you have a cold body type, we use warming natured oil with warming natured substances. And if you have a hot body type, then you use contrary natured substances and oil to apply on your body to make the balance. And if you have both, then you can also find a neutral natured oil and substances and apply on the body. So it balances different organs and then their natures. And Nye means to massage. So Ku Nye is a type of soft therapy. And then also there's a different external therapy called Horme. Horme is meaning the Mongolian moxibustion, but it's not the moxibustion stick that we're thinking of. It is a very unique like soft therapy, especially for babies who have neurological problems, for adults who are suffering from insomnia, long-term, short-term insomnia, and also very beneficial for people who suffer from, like especially women who suffer from menopause, menopause. Like they have lots of sadness and cannot relieve, and then have a lot of emotional problems. So very, very helpful. And first stage, second stage, like beginning stage of depression cases, also very beneficial. And then last one, very beneficial for this is dying people. Because dying people have a lot of pain. And this is like the best natural painkiller therapy. So it's called a Horme. Remember that, huh? Horme. Hor means Mongolia. Me means the fire, the Mongolia fire, but the Mongolia moxibustion. So you use different substances. In Tibet, there are different doctors. They have, in the book, there's a base medicine. So you use this base formula, a medicine formula, but according to different doctors, they have, according to their clinical experiences, they they know what other substances, like additional substances, they need to use for individual cases. So according to the body type of the patient, then it works better. So there are many formulas to learn and to apply for different cases. And this summer we were doing a training courses on this, and it was it was a shock because they say that annually they're receiving like 10,000 patients, and 80% can be healed by this therapy. So it's very high percentage, you know. And then second type is called which means like the wrathful external therapy. So for example, first we have acupuncture. So there is also Tibetan acupuncture. In the history, in the 5th century, the Tibetan acupuncture was very well preserved, and in the history there are also like interactions of medical interactions between Chinese, Mongolia, Tibet, and other countries, doctors. And they had international conferences on medicine and had exchanges. It was in a way sad because in the history there were two very famous figures, Tibetan historical figures, were accidentally killed by this therapy. It was accidental, but people start to accuse on the therapy, not the therapist, so they start to diminish this therapy. And it was not being practiced by many people during those periods. First one was in 5th century, and the second was 11th, 12th century. But afterwards, the founder of IATTM, the International Sorig, now we have Sorig Malaysia here, but the founder of Sorig International, Dr. Nyingthig Gyal, he has luckily met the direct lineage holder of this Tibetan acupuncture therapist. So this one doctor who always practiced it from his family lineage was able to write a book on Tibetan acupuncture therapy, and it was well preserved afterwards. And Dr. Nyingthig Gyal has been giving classes, and he has studied with this master, and he has been able to continue Tibetan acupuncture therapy. And then afterwards, we have in the wrathful external therapy, we also have bloodletting. Bloodletting is like a different. There are few different divisions in bloodletting. There is paktar, which means wet cupping. So you use the cup to first baguan. No? You first use the cup to see if the place has blood stagnation. After, if you see there is stagnation, 淤血, no? If you see stagnation, then you can pick with a lancet. And then after picking with lancet, you put baguan again, the cup again, to withdraw the yellow liquid, and then to withdraw the blood stagnation. Especially for women who, for not women, but not necessarily women, but for anyone who has problems in moving, like parts of the body. And then also very good for very
very good for detoxification, especially men, because woman has menstruation, so the negative blood is always coming out monthly, but men cannot. They don't have menstruation. Yeah. So when men doesn't have menstruation, then everything is stagnated inside. Then their only way to let out is pee pee poo poo sweat. Yeah, and then it's not enough if it's in the blood. Then bloodletting is very good. But this therapy is like a wrathful therapy. You have to learn more experiences in order to perform it. But it's also very interesting because in the Greek medicine, in the ancient time in Greek, they also had bloodletting, similar therapy, similar delivery, like how they do it. But because it was so effective, they did so much in that time, and then it became a problem, so they stopped it. You know, this is the rule, law of everything. You know, when something's so good, if overused, then it gets spoiled. So unfortunately, Greece medicine couldn't continue this this therapy. But in Tibet, this is widely practiced, and many patients who suffer from high cholesterol, hypertension, are healed by this, and also gout. Gout is also very good with bloodletting. And then the third type of external therapy is called Drakshe means like wild therapy. So it's a very strong therapy. So that's a similar idea as the modern way called operation. So in the ancient time, Tibetans did operations. The first operation was done like 2,500 years ago. It was a skull brain tumor skull operation. They made a hole in the skull in order to take out the tumor. So it was like 2,500 years ago. But unfortunately, this was something that they didn't continuously practice. So nowadays, Tibetans in Tibetan clinics, they rely more on the Western medication to do operations in order to cut everything. No? But on the external therapies and like the wrathful therapy and the mild therapy, soft therapy, they rely more on Tibetan medicine. So it's like more like a combination of the two. And then the last healing method is called spiritual healing. So this is also known as the highest healing. So we believe in Tibet, we say that the best doctor heals everyone with spiritual healing. Only mantras, only yogas, only visualization. Because spiritual healing heals people with 3 doors. Doors of body, you use yoga. Doors of speech, you use mantra. Doors of mind, you use visualization or meditation. And then we say that the best Tibetan doctor can heal everyone with spiritual healing. The medium doctor combine spiritual healing and the other 4 healings. The worst doctors heal patients with only medicine. Ooh la la. So, which is in a way interesting, because in Tibet, in especially rural areas, people believe, because in the book, you know, when they introduce traditional Tibetan medicine to people, they say, the highest healing is spiritual healing. So people always want something best, like always want the best, right? So they say, okay, I want the best healing. I'm not going to change my diet. No, I'm not going to change my lifestyle. I'm not going to change my take any medicine. I'm not going to take any external therapy. I'm going to receive spiritual healing, which actually made many people die because they didn't go through it, and they just went to the top. Which didn't help much. So here comes the real message of Medicine Buddha and Yuthok. Yuthok is the father of Tibetan medicine. He's the author of Four Tantras, the Bible of Tibetan medicine. And he said, spiritual healing is known as the highest, but it's a gradual step. So first, you work with your diet. If diet doesn't help your case, then you work with your lifestyle, especially both of them together. Because lifestyle and diet always works together, and medicine and external therapies always work together. So you try one by one. If none of them worked for you, then you come for spiritual healing. Yeah. And there are also healings that combine with the previous four together with spiritual healing, which I said the medium doctors, they combine both of them together, right? So this is also very good. And in Tibet, there are many, especially in the case of epilepsy, they give herbs plus pujas or meditation or mantras, and they heal many cases of epilepsy. Even like hospitals cannot understand how that works, but there are two sides, which is in a way interesting. I think also like in the modern way of explaining this can be also the combination of medicine with the psychology, right? Because the mind protection mantra, right? Mind protection is actually in the ancient time playing the role of psychologist. It was really recorded like that. Not that I say, it was already recorded like that because in the Jushi book, in the Four Tantra book, they say, like 2,000 years ago, there was no word of depression, no word of like bipolar, no word of these modern diseases, but they say illusionary diseases. If people suffer from illusionary diseases, they should go for spiritual healing. So what are illusory diseases? No? The mind affecting, right? Psychosomatic, right? The psycho means the mind, soma means body in Latin, right? And then psychosomatic, like when the mind is in a negative state, then it starts to attack your body. Yeah, and then body attacking your mind and then attacking each other. Then there's no harmony. So like why? So that's why like mantra is a medium bridge between the body and the mind. Yeah. So in a way, when you don't practice it, you will always feel, okay, it's a bridge between it. Okay, that's it. And the benefits of mantra, of the existence of this healing system, only comes to you when you truly learn it. And that's the price for it. And this talk is also like a guidance at the beginning of your journey to start to know about Tibetan medicine. But whether you are going to walk into this path depends on your division, right? Devotion. Yeah. So like Buddha said that we should always follow the 6 paramitas to complete a goal in a life, or a goal in lives and lives. So the 6 paramitas are, the first one, can you tell me? First one? First one, generosity. And Miss On, second one? Huh? Conduct. Oh, okay. Yeah. Good. So second one, it can also be understood as like mindfulness or discipline. Yeah. And third, yogi. Third. 6 paramita. Third.
Yogi is very patient.
Okay, so third is patient. Patience. And after patience, what's next? Discipline. Yeah, so discipline, effort, no? And after effort? Meditation. Yeah? Meditation. And the last one? Wisdom. Last one is wisdom. Yeah. According to the previous 5 steps, you get the final wisdom. Yeah. So this is the 6 paramitas and how we get to know what I have introduced today, the 5 healing methods, right? And in the 5 healing methods, the last one, spiritual healing, as I said, first one is yogas. And yogas can be in a spiritual aspect. But in the mundane aspect, it can be exercises. It can be any kind of sport that make you sweat, anything. Because except the spiritual side of the deeper meaning behind the exercises, when you're doing the exercises, you feel light. You feel so happy afterwards, right? You feel that you are so disciplined, so full of energy. So that's the bodily effect. But when you do a yoga or when you focus on the deeper meaning behind each posture, then that gives you not only the physical effect, it can also give you the spiritual effect. So that depends also the flower in your brain, the flower in your heart. Yeah. So if it opens up, then absorbs more. But if it closes, then of course, even if you receive the teaching, you don't absorb it as much, right? And similarly to the speech, like for spiritual side, we call it mantra. For other part, we call it nice words, like beautiful words, praisings. No? Like when we hear praisings, when we receive praisings, they are nice feelings. It creates harmony. But when you when you say harsh words, you should also be able to receive harsh words. Because if you are producing it, then you should allow other people to also produce it. Because you have, we're human. We have anus. We have to let out the gas. So the same thing for our mind. Yeah, our mind also needs anus, also needs to let go. Yeah, so same thing. So when you need to let out your emotions, you also need to allow others to let their emotions. Then there is no problem. It's still harmony. Yeah, so still it's using your speech. And then last is visualization or meditation. Meditation in Tibetan is called a gum. But gum actually comes from a root word gum. This is a verb, gum. Means habit. Habit. Yeah. I don't know how you understand meditation because this is actually Christianity background English word. But the real meaning of gom is habituation. So you inhabit yourself with a good habit, a good change. So if you want to say, okay, I want to reduce my anger, this is something you want to change. This is something you want to inhabit yourself into, right? So habituation, you find all the ways, all the positive thinkings or whatever, the world comes in a whole thing for you to habituate yourself to a less angry person, or to a less whatever person that you want to become. So that's meditation. Yeah. So that's about the spiritual healing. So if you have any questions, you may ask. Yes? Can you come? Can you come? I don't hear. Koro, no? Yeah.
My question is like that. Just now you mentioned about the anger, right? So if let's say our anger is from ourselves, we can control, we can help us. How about if let's say the anger is from the family members? How can we help them?
You mean you want to help them to change their anger?
Yes.
You can't. Yeah, because Buddha said already, he said, anyone as an individual can change their own karma, but cannot change anyone else's karma.
How about that is a kid?
Is a child?
Child,
Yeah. Then the child influences, like most influential person can be the mother or the father, right? The family members.
So the parents is taking a very important.
Sometimes when you see the anger in the child, it's also good to take less attention to that. The more attention you take to that, the bigger this thing will become. So sometimes your worry to the child is actually becoming a burden and making the child to become more anxious about this aspect of themselves. Yeah. So this is actually maybe not their problem, but your problem. Can be. Thank you. Yes? Yes.
What if it's the adult who's angry?
Adult.
Yeah, the adult who is having a lot of
Like
anger.
spouse.
Do you also apply the same, what you explained just now for children? Because you say that when the child is angry, don't pay too much attention.
Yeah.
So if it's an adult, do
It's
you also
different
apply?
cases. Different cases, because children are like jelly. They're not fixed yet, so they're able to be more flexible than adults. Of course, in adult cases, it depends on the karma. So, for example, being who you are, and being who you are and what you deliver yourself to is your karma, and how they react is their karma. So what you need to do is do not change your karma because of their karma. This is something you need to pay more attention to, not on the other side, because it doesn't help when you think the other side. But of course, on the base of not hurting other and not harming yourself. Self-protection is needed. Self-protection is needed. Medicine Buddha said that for all sentient beings, they're all looking for happiness. But there are only two ways to get happiness. One is materialism. The other, spirituality. But no matter what way you choose, you have to have a good health, a good protection of yourself. So this good protection is not only like on the base of harming others. Sometimes we understand wrongly how should we protect ourselves. Sometimes we think we're protecting ourselves, but we're harming ourselves. So this part we need to think in a deeper way. like get more ideas, like be open, so that sometimes you get small hurts, but these small hurts help you to grow. Internally, you're growing stronger. When you're internally growing stronger, then when the real storm comes, then you're strong enough to defend it. Otherwise, if you're always, I don't want to 吃小亏啊. 吃小亏, in English, how would you say? Yeah? 小亏, 吃亏, 吃亏, yeah? Some 亏 you can 吃啦. Yeah, some 亏, some small 亏 you should take, because that can help you grow. But 大亏 you should not. Yeah, so you should give the chances for the 小亏 to come into your lives and avoid 大亏. Because when you do, when you take a lot of small, how do you call that? 亏啊. Small sacrifices. Yeah. When you take small sacrifices in life, then big sacrifices won't happen to you. Yeah. Many things are like that, because small sacrifices teach you to avoid big sacrifices. Then that's the best protection for yourself. Yeah, that's a very good protection. Yes. Any more?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any more? One more question? No question? You want concert? Yes. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Yes.
Can you explain the hierarchy of the studies of the TTM, hierarchies of the studies?
Okay. Yeah. So in Sorig International, there are two kinds of courses. One is a 3 to 4 year different schedule, like a full 3 to 4 year schedule of TTM studies. So it gives you.
The back cannot hear my questions.
Okay.
My questions are to ask Drukmo to explain more details, the hierarchy of the traditional Tibetan medicine studies in a diploma and a degree, because it's actually an international recognized studies. Thank you.
Yeah. So now Sorig International has opened its college in Nepal, Kathmandu. So we have one fixed college there. And then we also have institutions like Sorig Malaysia all over the world, more than 30 countries. And then in each country, we have courses from 3 to 4 years, based on 3 to 4 years of schedule. And each year we have a curriculum on what subject we should learn. So it's more like an advanced degree study. So that's one side, and the other side is selective courses on spirituality and also on healing. So the healing methods can be on spiritual side or on medical side. So those are selective courses. For example, we have mantra healing. Mantra healing is a part of spiritual healing in Tibetan medicine. There are two kinds of mantras. One mantra is spiritual mantra. So you will see on YouTube, you will see many mantras, right? So those are open spiritual mantras. Some are closed, like a secret spiritual mantras. So those are not open. Only you can get from your guru, your teacher. And then this mantra healing is a selection of mantras, like a collection of mantras, preserved by different medical, different Tibetan doctors, and according to their practices. They have selected mantras for each part of the organ. So we have mantra for heart, mantra for intestines, mantra for muscle, mantra for even the diseases. For example, mantras for insomnia, mantras for epilepsy, mantra for tumor, mantra for cancer, so different mantras. And these mantras can be practiced by not only the doctors, but by the patients as well. So if patients get treatment of the previous 4 kinds from the doctor, then in order to help them in a spiritual way, doctors will also offer them mantras according to the specific problem. So in this concert, in which we're going to do now, this album is called Traditional Tibetan Mantra Healing. And here you will also hear some selection of mantras. And now I explain about the last part, so we start the mantra concert. Yeah. Do you remember before I was talking about the body types? Yeah. So, you know, our body is made of the 5 elements. The 5 elements are slightly different from the Chinese version. So in Tibetan version, we have the sky, so the space. We say the space. Space is in everything, right? So without space, all the other 4 elements cannot exist. So space plus air plus wind is the wind type. So in Tibetan, we call it long, so wind type. And wind type people are usually very unstable and talkative, unstable, and very thin, and a very flying mind, like mind flies everywhere. It's difficult to concentrate. And this is a long type of people. And then space plus fire is called chipa, is called fire type, so also called bile type. Bile does not mean the liquid bile, but the nature of this bile is hot. It's giving the heat to the body. So this is the bile type. And bile type are usually physically they're not thin, not fat, they're medium. And then they are also like very proud, like characterly, they're very proud because they think, if I do something, I want to accomplish it. So they have that, pride. And also they are easy to get angry, and their body is always like very hot. They're afraid of heat. They die if the heat comes. They cannot move. They cannot do anything. And then combination of space, water, and earth is called a becken. And becken is physically easy to accumulate fat, so usually fat. And water and earth heavy, so body is heavy, and mind is also heavy, very lazy, don't like to move, and don't like to change different stuffs, like don't like to update their knowledge. So they usually want to fix. They can do one job in a lifetime. Like wind people, they cannot. They have to change their jobs, their contents of life, like many times, in order to keep them like alive. No, but Becken people are very firm. They're very stable. When you let them do something, they're very stable. They do for a lifetime. So these are the 3 types, and they're also connected with the 3 inner poisons. So. First of all, the wind type is connected with attachment, like desire. Yeah. So wind people, they have more desire. They want this, they want that. They're always wanting. When they can't, then they're like, oh, shock. Yeah. The wanting, the desire makes their mind even more problems. Even flying more. And then. Fire is connected with anger, so like very pride and very easy to get angry and very fast. Yeah, and Chipa people, they are like bile people, fire people. They are easy to recover their energy. They don't need much sleep. They can sleep maybe 5 to 6 hours, like even less. But they can recover so fast. You know, there are people like that, right? And wind people, they have to sleep a lot. They like to sleep, and they like to sleep maybe, and like perfect range of time should be 8 to 9 hours. And for Bekan people, for like this fat type of people, they like to sleep, but they should not sleep. They should sleep only like 7 to 8 hours, and then it should be enough for them. Yeah. So different range, you know. They wind is in between, because wind is neutral. When it accompanies by fire, it's hot. When it accompanies by water and earth, it's cold. So you see, with the nature, there are only hot nature and cold nature. So Bekan is cold nature, fire is hot nature, and Long is in medium. So whichever is accompanying, because our body cannot be a single type, has to be a combination, right? So when these three energies in our body are balanced, we're healthy. When they're not balanced, we're unhealthy. So that's the connection between them. Yeah? Okay, so now we have the concert. Thank you.